Hello and welcome to another Excel video with Rich Kerr. In this scenario, we're going to take a look at a new feature, at least it's new for Excel 2010, that I think is really powerful when you need to represent a slice of data and a full-blown chart is overkill. So we have a feature now called a Sparkline that can create a mini in-cell chart. So I've got some sample data there in cells A1 through D4. If you want to set up some sample data of your own, go ahead and pause the video, and then we'll pick it up and create our Sparklines. So in column E, I'm going to create the heading Sparkline, and I'll go to the Insert tab of my ribbon. Now on the Insert tab, you have in 2010 your traditional column and pie and line and bar icons for creating charts of that type, which again would create a chart in a separate object window that you could move to a separate tab in your workbook, and that's very powerful and in some cases exactly what you need. But in this case, I want to do something very subtle and simple. So I'm going to select the range B2 through D2, and I'm going to create a line Sparkline for Charlie. So when I click line, it understands that I've selected B2 through D2 as my data range. It wants to know where to place the Sparkline chart. So with the cursor blinking in the location range field, I'll click E2 as the location for my Sparkline and click OK. And it creates a mini line chart right inside cell E2 that reflects the shape of this data. So Charlie won 500, then he was up to 9, and then down a bit back to 7. And I can use the autofill handle to drag that down, so I now have Sparklines for Alan and Jake. That's what a Sparkline is. You can modify it. I mean, now I've got a Sparkline tools section of my ribbon, so I could emphasize the high point, for example. So when I check that option, it creates a little diamond or a little indicator for each player where their highest point was. I could also create an indication of the low point. So it's up to you how you decide to do that. You've also got some style choices here. So there's a style gallery to change the appearance of your Sparkline. And there are two other Sparkline types. So if I'd like to see a column Sparkline, I don't have to reinvent the whole thing. I can just click column now. And so what that does is change it into a column style Sparkline chart. And because I had high point selected, the highest point in each one is a different shade. If I turn off high point, they're all the same shade. So there's some customization for the appearance. The third type is called win-loss. Now the win-loss Sparkline is really only useful if you have negative values. So let's say Alan lost $800 playing poker. So when I change it, you can see that the middle value for Alan is going below sort of a virtual breakpoint for 0. So these again are Sparklines, are ways of showing representations of data right inside your cells, and that can be appropriate when a full-blown chart is just too much for your scenario. Thanks for tuning in. Come back soon for more Excel videos with Rich Kerr. Have a great day.